the Waqf Amendment Bill. First confirmation here on India Today that the bill will be tabled tomorrow at 12 noon in the Lok Sabha. Exclusive scoop on India Today about really when the bill will be brought in Parliament. Tomorrow 12 p.m. is when the BJP will be tabling, introducing this bill in the Lok Sabha. So expect fireworks in Parliament over this particular issue. First here on India Today, we're giving you details really of how this bill will be introduced. A whip has already will be issued essentially by the BJP for all of their MPs to be present in the House. The speaker list is being finalized, but in all likelihood, it will be Minority Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju who will be in fact introducing that bill tomorrow at 12 p.m. Piyush Mishra is joining us with more details on this. Piyush, tomorrow 12 noon is when we're expecting the debate over Waqf to kick off. The bill will be tabled tomorrow afternoon is what we're hearing.
So that's right, the meeting of the Business Advisory Committee has now come to an end, and what we are now learning is that tomorrow the government is going to bring the Waqf Amendment Bill in Lok Sabha at 12 noon, and soon after this the discussions will take place. The opposition has sought 12 hours time for discussion, but 8 hours of time has now been allotted for the discussion on this entire bill. What we are also learning is that the opposition demanded that the discussion on Manipur, ethic and other issues should also take place. But the government was of the view of having discussion on Waqf Amendment Bill first, and that is why the opposition has now walked out of the Business Advisory Committee meeting. So what we are now learning is that out of 12 hours, which was demanded, 8 hours of discussion will now take place, and tomorrow at 12 noon, the government is bringing Waqf Amendment Bill in Lok Sabha, where further discussions will take place. You would remember that earlier the government had made it very clear that it is very much ready to have a discussion on each and every clause, on all the objections those are being raised by the opposition political parties, and that is why lengthy discussion time duration has also been allotted. 8 hours has now been allotted to have a detailed discussion on each and every clause of Waqf Amendment Bill. So the biggest news which we are right now breaking is that it has been decided in the meeting of Business Advisory Committee that the government is bringing Waqf Amendment Bill tomorrow at 12 noon. After 0 hour, the bill will be brought and then the discussions will take place. What we are also told is that the Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister and Minority Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju is going to bring this bill in Lok Sabha tomorrow, and tomorrow itself what we are told is that the reply will also be given by the minister on all the issues that would be raised by the opposition. So during the meeting of Business Advisory Committee, the opposition also walked out of this meeting, claiming that the government did not listen to their demand of having discussion on the issue of Manipur, as well as epic and other issues which the opposition wanted to have a detailed discussion.
Okay, so it was in fact in this meeting that it was decided the Waqf Amendment Bill will be in fact brought in tomorrow at 12 noon. We understand that about 4 to 6 hours has been allocated just for a discussion on the Waqf Amendment Bill. The speaker list is still being finalized, but Piyush also telling us importantly that the opposition in the Business Advisory Committee meet said they want other issues to be discussed, claiming that the BJP is treating Parliament as a house that only has one party and that other parties are not being allowed to raise issues they want, which is essentially what the opposition's grouse was, and so they walked out of that particular meeting. That being said, the BJP is making it clear that the Waqf Bill will very much be tabled tomorrow. There's also very little time, very limited time, Piyush, considering that another 2 days the session will come to an end. So the BJP will have to push through if they want this bill to become a reality in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in the next 2 days.
3 days are left, business days of the ongoing budget session are left, and in these 3 days, including today, in these 3 days, discussions will take place on various other things, and that is why, only limited time is left. Tomorrow, the government is likely to reply also on all the objections that will be raised by the government tomorrow in Lok Sabha. So tomorrow, what we are now learning is that the Waqf Amendment Bill will be brought in Lok Sabha at 12 noon, and this sort of discussions will take place where the speakers from opposition and from the government side, they are going to speak, and after that we will be able to know as to what will be the government's reply and how is government is going to counter all the points those will be raised by the opposition political parties.
Importantly, there is going to also be that question, Piyush, about whether the BJP has managed to get their allies on board. The JDU, TDP have been setting terms and conditions, saying only if you agree to this term, will we extend our support to the bill. Are they confident come tomorrow in the Lok Sabha that the TDP, JDU will vote in their favour, or is there a possibility of them abstaining?
Well, the government is very much confident, Shira. The forces within the government have told us that not only the NDA allies, but also a few constituents of India alliance are in touch with the government. They are very confident that all its allies, including JDU, TDP, LJP and others, they are going to extend their complete support. Yes, these allies had some sort of apprehensions, but all the apprehensions have now been solved. The amendments which they had moved during the Joint Parliamentary Committee scrutiny, all the amendments have now been accepted, and the two big amendments, those were moved by JDU and one by TDP. All these amendments have been accepted by the government. That's what the sources are telling us. So today, the first draft of this bill is going to be brought in Lok Sabha tomorrow, and the discussions will then take place in Parliament, after which we can expect other political parties also to speak. But one thing is clear, that government is bringing the Waqf Amendment Bill tomorrow at 12 noon, and it is very confident that not only its allies but also various other constituents of India alliance are going to support the government initiative.
All right, Piyush, thanks very much for joining us with those details. I'd like to also bring in Aishwarya Paliwal on this broadcast for more. Aishwarya, do we have details right now of who's going to be speaking tomorrow in the Lok Sabha? Because we understand that the BJP very strategically is choosing big names, and they're saying we don't want to provoke on the issue of Waqf Amendment Bill. We want more details really to go forth to the people of why this kind of a bill is necessary.
Definitely, Akshita, but let me tell you, one thing is very, very clear. The BJP on the face of it appears very confident, but some of the allies, and this is something which we can tell you, some of the allies are not very comfortable with the entire idea of the Waqf being passed the way it is now. And that's the reason why we are seeing the BJP also is at the moment thinking about it, and they are saying that we want to tell all the MPs and we want to tell the country what exactly all these things will entail and what will happen once the Waqf bill is being passed. Now, also let me tell you, something that the BJP at the moment, Akshita, is looking at are the crucial Bihar elections, because JDU time and again has said that they do not want people from they do not want Muslims to go away from them, and we have also seen how the current Chief Minister Nitish Kumar time and again has spoken about the fact that the state government as well as the central government, both of them have done quite a lot of work for the Muslims, and also said that what the government wants to do with regards to Waqf is so that they can do the upliftment of the Muslims. The TDP also, if you remember, Akshita, Chandrababu Naidu also has been giving subtle hints that standing against the Muslims is something that the TDP will not be doing. So we have seen how the allies have been giving very subtle hints to the BJP with regards to where they stand. The BJP, however, still believes, and this is what they started by saying, that this is for the upliftment of Muslims. And to date, this is what the BJP, its stand is. This is the stand that they have been maintaining, that they want to do this for the upliftment of the Muslim community in our country.